And you are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So we had another one today. We had another fucking certificate. I'm fucking done with this shit. It's just like Groundhog Day at the moment. It's fucking driving me nuts. You go into the same room. It's the same fucking absolute rockets. Token black guy, Irish guy, English guy, tattooed guy, Irish girl, just the same shit over and over again. But today was the absolute worst because we had the classic trainer who spends the whole day doing routines, like thinks he's a comedian. He has a captive audience and he's been doing this for like fucking 20 years or whatever. So he's built an act. Like everything's a bit. It was the fucking worst. Everyone's done training courses before, haven't they? Of some descript. And the trainer's never like an inspiring human being. Although today he gave me a little bit of inspiration for the Degeni Diaries because he went on a 45-minute rundown of his life story. It was insane. Not only was he doing bits, like what was one of his bits? I fucking tried not to listen. Something about wearing a harness, and if you fall from a height and your leg fucking straps aren't done up tight enough, it cuts into your balls, and the only way to undo it is to do the reach around, and he's not that friendly. Something like that. Anyway, the fat cunt fucking forklift trainer, who's probably heard that bit 3,000 times, laughed his head off. Probably again. He probably did it yesterday. Same spot, same position. Just repeat, which all comedy is. It's just repeating the same shit and pretending you came up with it spontaneously. Anyway, the Working at Heights trainer told us his full life story. Like exciting parts and boring parts, and it went on for fucking ever. So I know the whole cunt's life, but that part I was enthralled because he's a big fat cunt, and I'm like, oh no. When he said he was going to tell us a bit about it, his past, I was like, oh fuck's sake, just give me the answers to this test and get me out of here. But he started, and his dad was from Austria. He was a mountaineer, so he spent his fucking life mountaineering, and he got dragged up mountains and shit with his fucking dad, and then he joined the army, and then he was fucking running cruise ships or something out of fucking Miami, and then he went over to England to help build the fucking Channel Tunnel or something like that. And I'm like, this fat fuck, this absolute nightmare in the fucking classroom is enthralling me with his life story. It's interesting. And I was like, well, fucking, that's good for the Degeni Diaries. I was worried, but all you need to do, everyone has an interesting story. Even if it's boring as fuck, it's still enthralling. Everyone's got a story like, you did what? What? Anyway, that was the beginning and the end of any admiration I had for that guy, because it was just unrelenting fucking joke after joke. And the thing is, he has a captive audience. So they're not going anywhere. They can't walk out. They're in the class the whole day. So he has an audience and they can't leave. And the other thing is, they're all kind of sucking up to him a little bit because he's the assessor. So when he's hitting these jokes, everyone's laughing, but they're fake laughing. They're classroom laughing because they want to get on the good side. Even if they don't give a fuck, subconsciously they're just laughing. So he's getting the wrong feedback for his jokes. So he thinks he's killing every day. He thinks he's murdering. So he's not writing new material. He's just got his routine down. And he's like, it's murdering, so why would I need to write some new gear? It's the fucking classic comedian pitfall. He's not refreshing his joke. There's all jokes from like the 1970s or 80s. Said with no charisma or spontaneity. Just saying it robotically. And he's killing as well. It's so fucking frustrating. I was getting so fucking angry. I'm like, write some new bits at least. Come on, experiment. Do some shit. You've got a captive audience. You can fucking do whatever you want. Fucking just throw it out there. Let your hair down. Experiment. Come on. But he didn't. He just did his thing and ruined my day. I got one off in the class as well. I don't think he was happy about it. Oh, it was good though. It felt good to get a class laugh because it's just all fucking tradies in there, bogans, soul of the earth type. It reminded me of high school a little bit. It was just a quick little comment. Like they were showing a video of like a mannequin being saved by one of the work employees, like getting up there, fucking attaching the rope, bringing it down. And he did it all perfectly. And then right at the end, when the mannequin was on the ground, the employee who just saved his life grabbed the mannequin by the head and fucking just ripped it over towards him and started doing CPR. And I just yelled out, how about that fucking head drag? And the whole class laughed and he's like, well, that wasn't really part of it. I'm like, shut up, old fat cunt. It hit. It wasn't an amazing yell out, but it hit. And I was happy. I was more happy with that classroom laugh than I have been in my last gig, definitely. Any of the laughs I got in my last gig. Anyway, I passed the working at heights bullshit. I swear to God, if I had to do that test legitimately without having all the answers fed to me, there's no way I would have passed. I had the open book and I was still struggling to finish the test. I couldn't find the answers. I'm like, I am bottom of the barrel. I am full fucking blown. It's a real concern because they're like, just rewrite this sentence, but in your own words. I'm like, how do you do that? And all I do to rewrite it in my own words is like drop an and or something. I can't come up with new words. Or I just rearrange it. I chop the sentence in half and put the first part in the second position and the second in the first. I'm not here to get creative on this. So that's another one. Another one in the bank. But there could be a little bit of fucking light at the end of the tunnel. I'll talk about that tomorrow. For now, I just want to fucking say thank you to the few people that have joined the Patreon the last couple of days. You're hearing the SOS from Boyle and you're responding. Fucking Tommy Fuzia, he's come to the Boyle's rescue. And James Pike. James Pike signed up yesterday for a pint and then again today. I don't know what he's up to. I shouldn't have said that. I should have kept that on the lowdown. And Beth Follett. Beth Follett is back. She was with me and then she was against me. But Beth is a special listener of this podcast because she sort of inspired Fucked Up Fridays. She was the first story. I had been thinking about Fucked Up Fridays, but she sent me in a story and I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do this. Fucked Up Fridays. So Beth was the first one. She triggered the whole thing. So she's back in. It really means a lot that you cunts are jumping on the Patreon now. So I will be repaying you in kind. I'm getting the Degeni Diaries happening. I should have one out on Tuesday. That should be interesting. Anyway, that'll fucking do it for today. And I'll see ya the fuck later.